Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Women's Coffee Club. We created this club to provide a safe space for women to share and inspire each other and learn from a different presenter each week. So this morning, we have Cody Wasial. Is that how you say it?
Wassel, that was pretty close.
Wasial.
Yeah.
uh, Presenting for us with an amazing topic, Move Me to Joy. And I can't wait to hear that. So, Cody, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself and why this topic. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everybody. Happy, blessed, magical day. And I'm Cody Wasial, America's Joy Catalyst. And I wasn't always in this industry. And so I had sold my business a few years back and got on the life coaching path and the speaker path. And I didn't really know how I fit into the whole mix. I was starting to put the pieces together of my mind and my body and my spirit, but something was missing. And through the Brave Thinking Institute, there's a woman named Jennifer Joy Jimenez, who's the daughter of Mary Morrissey, and she put together this thing called TranscenDance. And when we got locked up there for a hot minute, I was really bored. And so I was doing all the mind stuff and I was doing all the spirit stuff, but my body, I don't know, my body just needed something. And so she offered a free class. She said, here, come to my TranscenDance class. It's virtual. Come check it out. And I'm like, oh, I'm bored out of my mind. Why not check it out? So I hopped on this class, and it basically, TranscenDance is 10 different phases of intentional, joyful movement. So it's kind of like taking yoga off the mat into conscious body movement. And I thought, well, all right, let's check it out. Well, these 10 phases and their intentions, it's like a full rebirth. And I went through this whole process and I was crying and I'm dancing and I'm like, what is happening? Like all of these things were happening. I felt amazing. I felt alive. I felt like I was finally getting in tune with my body on a deeper level. And I was starting to learn how breathing and movement at the same time was releasing stuff in my body that I didn't even know I had trapped in there. Had you ever seen those women when they're in ballet or dancing and they kind of like leap across the stage and they're just suspended in air for a moment? And I'd always thought like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could feel like that woman looks to me. And in that one class, I knew I didn't get as far off the ground as those women do, but it felt like I did. And I was like, wow, there's really something to this movement medicine. I went to another class just to be sure it wasn't a fluke. I'm like, well, maybe it was just because it was new. Let me try it again. And I went to the second class and I had a similar experience, and each class since. And I'm now a level 2 TranscenDance facilitator because it ended up changing my life in such a way. I wanted to be able to bring it to people and share about movement. We forget to move the body. And some of us, we do move the body, but we move it very linear. We move it very, I'm doing this or I'm picking stuff up. And the body is 365 degrees. We have a whole spiral of motion that moves through our body. And I was like, oh, this is magical. And I'm going to stand up for a second because I'll show you how I used to move, because this is fun. So I used to move like this, right? Like, yeah, woohoo, right? And we're going like this, and we're at my dad's dance things. And I'm like, yeah, or I do this, like, yeah, you want it, yeah, okay. So, and I would just not know that your whole body can do this. You can release your head and your neck and your spine, and you can start to isolate different parts of your body. And it's all the parts that are stuck that we don't typically think about that are the little places that hold these little trapped energies. And so this morning, I want to give you a tiny taste of a few of the stages. And then I'm giving you an invitation after that to join us next weekend at a free TranscenDance full class with Jennifer herself. And I'll put all the details in the Women's Coffee Club. But I just want you to feel the difference. So before I get you to do a tiny bit of movement. And yes, you can even do this in the car safely. First, I want you to do a little body scan with me. So just close your eyes for a hot second, not you when you're driving. You keep your eyes open and you can still do the scan. So just take a moment and feel how your neck feels on your shoulders. Take a deep breath and let it out. How does your neck feel? What are your shoulder feelings? Where are you feeling any tension in the body? Move your awareness down your arms into your elbows. Check in with your spine. Bring your awareness down into your hips and your tailbone. Down into your knees. Taking a breath. Moving it down to your ankles and your toes. And just recognize where things maybe feel a little inflexible or a little tight. All right, and so now you have that in your mind, and that's our physical body. So we feel that, we recognize it, and now we're going to give it a little bit of love. So I'm going to put a little bit of music on, and Rini, can you give me share privileges?
Yeah, hang on a second.
And so now that you have this tapped in, right, you've recognized where these spots are in your body, and then we're gonna move some of that out. Thank you. Share sound. Oh, I didn't need to share my screen. I just needed to share my sound. There we go. Okay. So this first phase that I want to share with you is, it's called the body parts dance. So it's basically the dance of self. And in this, basically, we're going to start with our head and we're going to move down to individual body parts, and you can kind of follow along, or if you feel your body needs to move a certain way, you can do that. For you in the car, you can move a finger, or you can move your head a little bit, however you want to, or you can go back on the replay. So just kind of follow along a little bit, recognize where those parts were that weren't feeling fantastic. And now we're going to start to move and recognize and allow these body parts to lead you. So the idea is not, I'm moving my head. The idea is the head is moving me. The idea is the arms are moving me, and breathing. And I'm telling you all this now because when I turn the music on, because I don't have my mic hooked up, you may not hear me fully. So remember to breathe. And you'll see me, I'll make it very noticeable. And we'll start to move our bodies a little bit together this morning. All right. Hi, Kim. Here we go. Can everybody hear the music? Can you hear music? Yeah. Okay. We're going to start with our head. Remembering to breathe. Making noise. Allow yourself to make noise. It's weird. It's okay. Down into those shoulders. Bring it out into your arms. Your arms are these extensions. Let the fingers dance. How often do we let our fingers dance? And our wrists. About our elbows. We're going to move down to our torso. Expand, contract, open, flow. Breathe. Remember to breathe. Down into the hip. Beautiful. You guys are doing amazing. Down to the knees. And we're going to our feet. Now put the whole thing together. Really allow the head and neck to move with that whole body. Take those breaths. Breathe. Look at you guys, you're rock stars. So that, just that, is called the body parts dance. So now I want you to take a second and check in with your body. Check in with your neck. Check in with your spine and your shoulders. Check in with your hips and your lower back. And your legs and your feet. How many of you just in 2 minutes feel a difference?
It feels like stretching. It feels good.
So the magical thing about this is I'm just sharing a couple little parts with you, and I'm going to share another one in a minute. But so the thing is, and the point is that was 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And the more you get comfortable with breath and movement, you can literally change your entire day, your entire mood, and the entire feeling of your body in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. I mean, that is a powerful tool that you can use for yourselves. You know, how many of us wake up and we're like, I don't really want to get out of bed today. I'm feeling maybe a little unmotivated, right? We have these moments. It's very normal. Well, motivation doesn't knock on the door and say, hi, I'm motivation and I would love to hang out with you today. No, sometimes we have to cultivate that motivation. And how can we do that? Well, movement and breath is one of them. And it shows up in many different ways. You know, people do breath work, people do yoga, people do, you know, all of these things. And when you move it with dance and music, you know, you find what one works for you, what one really lights you up, what one is fun. For me, dance and this brings me an immense amount of joy. And at any moment during my day when I'm feeling a little weird or there's like a heavy energy, I'll bust out this next one that I'm going to show you, which is called the dance of shift. And the dance of shift is all about shaking it off. We got a nice big fire in front of us. We're slothing off and burning things. It's a downbeat. Boom. We're shaking it down to Mother Earth. We're giving it to the earth to be renewed. And we're allowing all the parts of our body to shake. So, you know, like how the flesh shakes on your bone. And if you're tight, you don't feel it. But if you really like kind of let your arms go floppy like a noodle or like a dog shakes off after it gets out of the bath from the head to the tail, or when you shake out a carpet because, you know, it gets dirty and people still do that. They like beat their carpets and shake it out. It's that. So this is the dance of shift. And so I invite you to move through this one. Think of anything that you feel is not serving you right now. Think of anything that maybe is kind of feeling a little heavy. Just going to shake it out. And all of this is always to say you move within your safety, your ability to move, whatever that is. We have people in TranscenDance that are bedbound, that are, maybe without use of certain limbs, or so whatever you're feeling today, wherever your movement level is, it's welcome. And you can also visualize shaking. So you can visualize the body shaking, the booty shaking, the belly shaking, and all of those. You can visualize that as well, so that you can also be bringing that in for your body. Your body doesn't really know the difference, which is really cool. It's like, oh, we're shaking. You could tell yourself you're eating a lemon, and all of a sudden, if I start talking about a lemon, your mouth is going to water, and you're like, but I'm not actually eating the lemon. But if you close your eyes and I say, do you feel that yellow lemon? It's beautiful. You're going to cut it open. You're going to drip the lemon in your mouth. All of a sudden, you're like, wow, whoa. And you get all salivaty because we're telling our mind something. So if you're not in the space to shake it up a little right now, that's okay. You can do that. And if you are, I invite you to shake things up with me a little bit. So this is part of the dance of shift. Dun, dun, dun.
Hit the ground dancing for the music slows down. What I'm saying, if there's something to fix, take it to another level. This is the remix.
You feel a downbeat? You're hopping, shaking.
Everybody get out on the floor.
And this is really like letting it out. There you go. You're a rag doll. Imagine your floppy noodle arms.
Break it down, break it down. I got something to say.
Take the leg.
Dancing with me, it's like we go MIA.
Take just an arm. The head.
Don't knock it till you rock it. We can't take it no more. Bring the lights up, bust the doors down. Dust yourself off, shake it up.
Remember to be.
Set it up, take it up a notch. All together now, shake it up, shake it up. Shake it up. You gotta change it up. And if the day's not right,
Shake
just
it up.
push it up tonight. Put on your
Take that thought, throw it in the fire.
get moved. And when you've had enough, shake
Let it burn.
Bring the lights up, bust the doors
Beautiful.
down. Dust
Now we're gonna start to
yourself
fill
off,
the
shake
cup.
it up, shake it up.
Bring in the light.
DJ set it up.
Bring in the
Take
positive
it
energy.
all together.
Pull it in.
Shake
We're
it
filling
up,
the cup.
shake it up, shake it up.
Fill the cup.
Lights up,
Move
bust
it.
the doors down. Dust yourself off, shake it up, shake it up. DJ set it up, take it up a notch. All together now, shake it up.
Fill it all up. Fill that cup up.
Bring the lights up, bust the doors down. Dust yourself off, shake it up, shake it up. DJ set it up, take it up a notch. All together now, shake it up.
Beautiful. Oh, you guys are doing amazing. How many of you thought you were going to be moving your bodies this morning at the coffee club or at 10 o'clock at night getting ready for bed? Ah. So that's the dance of shift. And these are little just bite-size experiences for you guys to feel the body. Feel the body. So I'm out of breath. Hold on. There we go. So how many of you felt the difference between our dance of self and the dance of shift? There's a different energy and intention behind it. So self is very stretchy, very feel each part of your body, get connected. Shift is very, well, let that shit go. Well, let's let it go. Let it out, shake it out. Okay. And so that's just 2 of the 10 phases. There are also phases of Sourcing, there's phases of serve. Serve is where we extend all of our love and all of our good intention out throughout the world. And then all of that love comes tenfold back to us. So it's that giving and receiving. There's stillness. Yes, I do love stillness. Even though I love to bounce around, I do love the stillness. There's also soothe. Soothe is where we take all of this energy, which I'm going to do with you in a moment, because we just worked all this up. And so I'm going to help you guys smooth it out here in a moment. And that's this waterfall coming and soothing all. So it's a very energetic and physical space for your body to get into with you, where you can love yourself deeper. Know that you have the tool that you need. Literally, with the click of Spotify or Apple Music or whatever your favorite song is, you literally only need the awareness to say, I'm feeling a little X, Y, or Z in this moment, and I have this tool that can shift that. And you can pick what part of the 10 phases works for you. And that's one of my favorite things about TranscenDance, is I'm able to just take what phase I need when I need it. So if I'm feeling like yesterday, I had this weird nervousness come over me. This guy I had previously dated messaged me after a year of not talking, and it was not a good ending. And my whole body went into, I'm not safe. And I could feel it in my nervous system. And it was like, we're not safe. Oh no, he just came back. Ah! And I'm like, whoa, body, it's a text message. You're okay. That's a little unreasonable bit of a reaction there, but you're reacting. And so instead of me not loving you for the reaction, let me give you what you need. And so for me, what I did was I shook it off first. I did what we just did. I'm like, all right, let me shake that out, because that's not mine. I don't need that. And then I brought myself into soothe, feeling safe, feeling rooted, feeling loved. So within 4 minutes, I went from my nervous system being all completely bananas and having this very physical reaction to a very small thing back into balance in 4 minutes. So that's the really beautiful thing about TranscenDance and learning the different phases and what they do for you, is that it's literally medicine. It's movement medicine. And you get to take a scoop of it whenever you want, which is super cool. So this next song is more of the way of soothe. And so soothing, I'll kind of stand up and show you. Soothe, we're going to take our hands about 3 to 6 inches outside our energy field. And what we're going to do with the music is we're going to start to smooth out and ground down all of the energy in the body down to the feet. And if you're able to touch your feet, that's wonderful. If not, you could just send energy down. You're going to imagine the waterfall trickling down your neck and the cool water and the moss under your feet. And imagine these roots rooting you into the ground while you're soothing this new energy that you have just brought in. You have stretched the body this morning. You have gotten connected to all of your body parts. You have shaken out what does not serve you, and you have filled your cup back up with positive, beautiful light. And so now the next little part is us smoothing that in and grounding it for a beautiful rocking day or an awesome evening of dreams and restorative sleep, whatever that looks like for you. So we're going to do that. Let me get that music for you. And this is one of my favorite artists. He just makes beautiful music. All right. Bring your hands up. Start to soothe. How your breathing is back to normal. way you're beautiful and perfect, just the way you are. On the legs. All the way down to the feet. Down the back to your legs. Bring it back up. We're going to do that one more time. Remember those roots growing out of your feet, down into the earth, grounding this positive energy. Touch your feet now, physically if you can. Bring them up to your head, and if it feels good and you want to touch your body to really ground it in, touch the body. Feel all those little tingles as you touch each of your body parts as they light up. They light up and they say thank you. They say thank you for seeing me, loving me, giving me what I need. Your body has so much information for you. All we have to do is stop and listen. So those are just a few of the phases. And I'm not going to do any more phases today for you guys because I feel like that's a very good rounded, for me, those are about my 3 go-tos when I'm feeling certain things. And I feel like that's a great way for you to get a little taste of TranscenDance. And again, you have an invitation, and I will put a link in the Facebook group chat for a class for free next Saturday online with Jennifer Joy Jimenez. She's the creator of it, one of the ambassadors. And so you can come join us and do a full TranscenDance class and really get into it. And you'll feel, if you can just feel for a moment the difference. Remember when I asked you to tap into your body when we first got here? And with a show of hands, how many of you feel different right now than you did when we started? Yeah, it's amazing. And there was not a lot of time. If I didn't talk in between and explain things, you guys just spent 6 minutes literally changing your entire body feeling, your motivation, your endorphins, the connection with your body, the looseness in the body, all of that. It didn't take long. Healing doesn't always have to take a super long time. Sometimes little bits of healing can be a lot more streamlined with movement and breath. And the more you guys breathe, what I started to notice was, first I thought it was crazy. And I'm like, this sounds ridiculous. I'm breathing like a nut. And then I realized that the more I just didn't care about what it sounded like to breathe and I allowed it to happen, the more my body started to light up. And the more when I breathed with the movements, I noticed more and more started to happen for releasing stuff in my body. And now I love to release it. Before it was like, well, I don't know what's going to happen, so I think I'll hold my breath a little while I dance, which, by the way, we need oxygen. So don't hold your breath. It's a really horrible, bad idea. We don't want to hold our breath. But we do, right? We go, I'm not breathing, by the way. How's that look? Whew. But now watch. You see the difference. So just allows the body and the oxygen to move in a way that is moving through all of your entire system. So I encourage you, until next Saturday, if you loved this, to try it on for a couple days this week, the rest of the week. It's what? It's Thursday? We on Thursday? Yeah. So maybe try it tomorrow. and try it Saturday. And then if you're like, wow, that was amazing, try it until next Saturday and come to the whole class. The whole class is really beautiful because you'll get to start in source and move into stretch, which is like developmental stages. Then we move into self, and then we go to shift, and then we go to synergy. Synergy is a great one. That's actually where you're mirroring each other. So you get to honor each other's authentic dance and kind of let your more silly, playful side out, which I always forget that one because I literally live that. And so it's my least needed for myself phase, because that's kind of how I exist. I exist in very silly circumstances most of the day. I'm like, you know, so I tend to kind of err on the side of stillness and the ones that balance me out. But synergy is one of them. There's serve, which is the one that is, you know, serving everything and everyone. And then there's soothe and there's stillness. So hopefully I named all 10. But if I didn't, you guys will have a link that shows you what all of that is. And, you know, I would love to see you all there. And if you have any questions or feedback or anything that you experienced, I would love to hear what your personal experiences were today with just those 3 little phases. And thanks for having me.
Let's open it up. That was awesome, Cody. I think it's kind of like you said, it releases my tension, you know, especially your neck, your body, and by moving around and breathing, it's like stretching exercises,
Yeah.
in a way, you know, to releases your tension. Let's open it up for a discussion. Sue, what do you think?
Oh, I think I was at the right place at the right time this morning because I have so much tension in my body the last 2 weeks around our house. There's been a lot of really difficult things that have happened with our family, and various, like, and not just like one thing, like 6 different, you know, everything sometimes piles at once, and you're just like, what happened 2 weeks ago? My life was awesome, and and so all this tension was in my body, and I'm like, wow, what a great idea. Just releasing that tension feels so good. When you were saying identify the tension, I'm like, well, it's everywhere. So I need to work on all of it. That's really cool. I stretch a lot, but I never really, and I dance, but I never really thought about kind of combining it all with breathing and the psychological part about releasing. And I'm like, oh cow, that's brilliant. It's so simple and so brilliant, which I love simple and brilliant together because I can remember it. So thank you so much. You were the person I needed to see this morning.
Hooray for good universe and timing.
Yes, cheers. And I think also it's kind of fun, you know, you turn on the music, so you think of it as dancing. You don't think of it as releasing anything.
And then
It
those
just,
happy endorphins are going because you're
yeah,
having
it's just
fun.
fun. So Joey, what do you think?
It was great, of course. It's always great to be moving. Just like with, when with Tony Robbins, there's this triad, right? There are 3 things that you need to change instantly to change from negative to positive, and one is physiology, and that is body movement. You just have to move. So that's really something that you really need to do to instantly shift from negative to positive. So we were doing that. Actually, the other kids are also doing with me. It's just that we just had our dinner
Oh,
Yeah.
and then we're moving. So
you
it's
ate
kind of
late.
difficult for us. Yeah, we eat late because the kids, the school ends around 9:30. So
Oh, wow. Oh,
night school for the 3 kids.
She homeschooled the 5 kids, if you can imagine. Talking about
good
tension and
job.
stress.
Way to go.
Thank you for this.
My
It was
Thank
pleasure.
really
you, Joey. Kim, I know, Kim, you're doing a new thing with the for athletes. So how do you think about this?
I'm plugging in my deal because my husband just came home. He doesn't like to hear all this, like, what's going on there? Wah, wah, wah. I love it. Yeah, I love moving my body, and it's interesting. And Cody, you're great. I mean, whenever we met as part of Noble Goldman, what now, 3 years ago or two or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love your energy, but it was so funny when you were saying, "Well, for you, the least needed one is um, the synergy or whatever," because you're always kind of like this, whatever you described as your kind of daily, you know, playful, crazy. And what you need are the ones that are more grounding. So I am the complete opposite, like complete.
Yeah.
So my question is, I don't know the synergy one yet, I guess, but I don't know, what's your suggestion there? I mean, really, I mean, I've always wanted to be, I want to be more playful, all this, and I love moving my body. And even
Yeah.
last night I was doing, because I am developing my program for female athletes, and I'm going through this whole series of like every day posting something about how to help your mental game. So last night was all about what I posted was about having a routine, having a mental routine of preparation. And what I love the most best about the preparation that I do, and I haven't done it in a while, is engaging my physiology and like going around in the park and like doing this stuff like half an hour before I play my tennis match or whatever, just getting into this. So I don't know. It's not that I don't do it, but I don't know. That's my question: is how to really keep that present, and how often do I need to do this? Every 15 minutes? The synergy dance.
Well, so here to the point of the part where you said, I don't really let my silly out often, right? And that's what synergy is kind of about. And so one part of all of this is recognizing that we're all of the things, right? So even though my maybe default is joyful, funny, laughter, ha ha ha, I have no problem letting my inner child out. The other side of that was I used to fear that if I let that part out, nobody would take me seriously as a wise woman. Nobody would, right? And they'd be like, what the hell? How am I going to follow this woman along? And she's a nut. Like, clearly she's not grounded. I can't follow this, right? And so what I began to understand was I'm all of them. I'm all of them, and I can access all of it at the same time and simultaneously. The thing is when you're with people, most people actually are more on the side of not allowing their silly out. So it's you're not alone in that. And so what I would say is get uncomfortable with being silly. Like, my gosh, we'll have a couple extra minutes here. We can even do it before we leave today. I can put another song on and we can practice that because that's something that people do need to practice. And really, it's showing people that you can do all of the things, right? And the full TranscenDance is that we're in our stretch. Oh my gosh, I used to have such an aversion to people saying the word womb or birthing, right? My mom told me about her horrible birthing experience and I never wanted kids. And so pregnancy and birth and all of that was like super gross to me. Like, don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about what came out of your vagina. Like, I don't, right? All the things. And I'd be super uncomfortable about it. And you couldn't say that stuff around me. And now I'm like, oh, I'm in the warm womb of the mother and it feels nice and it's cozy. And it was through TranscenDance that I was actually able to have a different experience with the process of being birthed, like birthing myself really into a new beingness. We were in stillness, then we went through the developmental stages. Oh, what does a baby do in there? It kind of, and it stretches and then it crawls and then it grabs and it does all these things. And I'm like, well, this baby's not so bad. Well, that birth wasn't so gross as everybody was saying. And I was able to release a lot of my uncomfort, but I got uncomfortable first. I mean, it wasn't like I was going to stop Jennifer and say, hey, could you not use the word womb right now? Like, I'm not really feeling comfortable with that. No, I had to kind of move through it. And the same goes for synergy and having that space where it's like, hey guys, like, what did she just do with her face? Well, it's okay. You're all okay, right? Did you smile? Yeah, you did. Okay. And then can I come and bring you into a space of knowledge and healing and all of that? Yes, I can. And Kim, you have skills. you have a ton of skills to utilize and to share with people. And if I were looking to you, right, coming to your class, I know that when you access this spectrum, that means I can go there. And that was the key for me with understanding for myself, the deeper I can go and the more uncomfortable I can get to heal those parts of myself, I am leading people to go there for themselves. Because it's not the same if I tell you to do it. If I sat here and said, yeah, Kim, why don't you make a silly face right now? Go ahead, do it. And I didn't do it first. How is that really me leading anybody? But if I'm over here going, yeah, guys, it's fine. Breathe. And you're like, oh my gosh, it gives you a little bit more permission to experience that, to play with me, right? And the thing that I was also taught in this process is get people's buy-in. Get their buy-in. If you start the class or the thing or the program with, are you going to play full out? Are you willing? Are you right? And you get them to say, yes, I'm willing. Yes, I'm in. Yes, in the beginning. That means when you do, they're not like, I didn't agree to this. I'm not doing this shit. No freaking way. No, you got their buy-in. They're like, well, I did say I was going to play full out today. So I guess, okay, well, that might feel good. Oh, I'm moving. Oh, actually, I give myself permission today. And so you're facilitating that for them. So, as far as frequency that you need to practice, that's entirely up to you. What feels good, what's going to light you up and really make that become like brushing your teeth for you, so that it's something that you're not really even thinking about. I've been doing it long enough that it's a practice that now is just a part of me. I don't really have to think about, should I use this practice now? I need this practice now. Here we go. I got my tool and I'm popping it out. And so, you're into personal development and all of those things. You know how long it takes for you to create a new habit and add things into your life. My suggestion is, daily, multiple times a day. Of course. I mean, it can't hurt. It's not going to not benefit you by doing it multiple times in the day. And you can even do a cool thing like, hey, for the next 7 days, I'm going to push myself outside my comfort zone and I'm going to go and I'm going to do a Facebook Live where I say, hey, everybody, here's a part of me that I left locked up. I left my little inner child locked up and today I'm going to let her out. And for the next 7 days, for 2 minutes a day, I'm going to let my inner child out to play. Do you want to come with me? And let people go on the journey with you of letting and unlocking. People love that. They love it because
Okay.
You
give me an idea for my live today. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't do live yesterday.
Like just get out there and do it. People everywhere need the leadership that shows them it's okay to be all of the things. And I certainly can't be everywhere. So
That's awesome, Cody. I think it's the idea of, being silly and dancing. It's something you do in private. Like it's not, you're not given the permission. Like if you do this, like you said, then people don't take you seriously or think that you're crazy or something. But
I give you permission, everybody. Go grab your mops and brooms and start wiggling, do it.
I think of Omeka and her drumming and her freedom. Omeka, what are your thoughts? She drum all the time.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah. Spirit drummer.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was great. I was loving it. That's what I needed. Thank you, Cody.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it was like you're such a great storyteller.
That's
Yeah.
true. Thank you. Oh my God. Suzanne.
Okay. Well, first of all, Cody, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you really since 2019, and it's been coaching, and it's been great. And for me, when I first got into all of Jennifer's work, I felt like the robot that we drew during Dream Builder Live. I was very, very stiff. And when we could do the robot, I'm like, when we were doing the rest of the dances with Jennifer, I'm like, I'm still doing the robot. But as I've come into confidence, I've loosened up more and more and more. And yeah, her words are so soothing that you just want to play along with her. And I'm so glad that you're doing TranscenDance with her. I have so many things that I'm doing, but I thought about taking the Saturday class with all of you, and I will get in there. But it's like I've seen just a completely different side of me since in just the 5 years since being part of Dream Builder Live and all of BTI. And my favorite move is the soothe. And when Jennifer goes into the praying during the synergy dance before we get going and everything, I'm loving it. At first, I was really hesitant because I'm like, oh, wait, I need Matt back. I need Matt to come back. And I'm like, no, this is better. I like Jennifer as being the master of energy now. And I'm like, wow, I'm getting so even that much more out of all that she's doing. And it's beautiful.
It is.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. Love Lynn, you just came back from Africa. Love Lynn, can you hear? You know, a lot of dancing there. Tell us how you feel. This is different.
Thank you so much, Cody. This is something I didn't expect. And I had a little bit of stress since morning because of the nature of my job. And when I jumped on the call and I found all of you shaking and stretching, and I said to myself, this is exactly what I need. And each time I bent down and touched my feet and came back again and went back down there, there's the way I felt in my brain, it sent some kind of I don't know how to describe it. There's the way I felt, like some kind of relief, as if someone was pouring some kind of liquid in my brain, and as I came back again, it went down to the rest of the part of my body. It's such a good thing. Dancing can relieve stress. And like Rini said, I was in Africa last month and I danced so hard to the point that I lost some weight when I was jumping up and down. I joined a traditional dance I've never danced before, and I noticed that all the women that dance are all slim and slender. And I was wondering why, not knowing that it's like going to the gym. So by the time we danced, we were all dripping with sweat. So I love dancing so much. And this is one exercise that I think I'll need to use this on a daily basis. And thank you so much for giving us the permission to become silly in our own space, in our houses, so that we can carry on with this. It's a good thing. I feel so good now. And the stress that I had in the morning has vanished. I feel relieved.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's awesome, Loveland. Thank you for your share. And Cody, you're the epitome of energy. So like this is perfect for you. You know, if I think of you, this would be like something that, you know, for you. I think, you know, I know you did the Dream Builder program and then you shifted into this TranscenDance, which, you know, I didn't at first I didn't know why you did that, but I think it makes sense now that you explain it. You know?
Yeah, well, and you know what's interesting is it's a tool that when you are in the space of teaching and coaching and all of those things, no matter what it is, whether it's with corporate or it's, you know, in a spiritual way or even with kids, this is an embodiment practice, which means whatever it is that you're teaching or doing, when you bring it into the body, people remember it. So, you know, anytime you can pair that with something, right? When something emotional happens, we know that it's happening. We can smell something and it brings us back to a certain place or time. You know, we can be reminded of something and we have a reaction in the body. And so when you're teaching and you want people to remember things in a new, beautiful kind of way, you bring it into the body. So it's not just a thought and it's not just this kind of wishy-washy thing. It's something that they're actually really harnessing and bringing in for themselves and grounding down. Like when we brought all the positive and beautiful energy in after we shook it off. What did I do? I said, let's ground that in, because that's the part that you want to keep for the day. So if I was teaching a certain specific program, and I really wanted you to, remember a certain thing that I said that may serve you, I might put the intention around it with the thing that I said, and then we may dance with it. One of the other things that we do that I absolutely love is dance our prayers. It is one of my favorite things to do, to dance our prayers, or vision. You have a vision of where you want to go and what you want to do. You bring that in before you start the movement and you dance the vision. So sometimes when I'm dancing, I'm envisioning myself on these lit up stages with thousands of people where I'm speaking and telling my story and also bringing them through movement. And, I got my big America's Joy Catalyst on the back sign, and, and people and all the lights and colors, and it's everything I ever dreamt of. And I'm bringing people through sound, color, spirit, story, and it's all there. And they leave feeling lit up, and they don't just leave and have nothing to do. Like a lot of times you go to these events and people are on a high, and then they leave the event and they face plant because they don't have the ability to sustain that vibration on their own when they go home. And I had gone to a lot of places like that in the beginning of all my awakenings and things. And I came home feeling amazing. And then it was worse when I fell down, because when I couldn't hold my own vibration up there, I then felt like I was doing something horribly wrong. And it took me months to get back on track. Except with movement medicine, I have the tool in which I can change my vibration within 2 minutes. I can hold my vibration now, no matter what is going on. I can hold my own vibration, and I don't need to go to events to feel that. I can recreate what I get at these events within my living room. And then I can just go to the events and have fun. I'm not going there to seek that high or to seek the information. I'm just a constant student, and I'm learning what I'm going to learn. But I know confidently I can go home and still feel amazing.
That's awesome, Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's super important to take with you,
Yes, absolutely. And I think that when you go to Tony Robbins or Mary Morrissey or any of the coaching events, or any events really, a lot of time they would turn on the music and let you dance it out to raise the energy. And thank you for that, Cody. Suzanne,
Yeah,
we are at the top of the hour, so yeah, just wanted to make you aware.
absolutely. No, that's exactly what Matt and everybody teaches us, is you take more in when you're dancing. But what I was going to say is went to my first workshop that I had a lot of people in the other day, and just bringing balloons to 50 plus age group, all of a sudden they're relaxed. It's like, wait, balloons? This is fun. And even though I'm teaching them how to release their anger and their frustration, their pent up energy into a balloon, which is what we used to do at the beginning of when I first joined BTI, getting rid of all of the energy, just teaching them how to breathe. But I saw a bunch of kids in there after I pulled out the balloons, and it was so refreshing to say to them, yeah, you can have fun. I give you permission.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's the whole thing is to give yourself the permission. Of course, we think of doing this at home or something, so people don't think we're weird or something. But this is so awesome, Cody. Thank you so much for sharing this. I'm gonna let you say the last thing here before we close.
Yeah. So guys, if you're going to go out there and you're going to do lives or you're going to do things, tag me. I want to see it. I want to be there for you. I will support you in your sillies. Like I got your back. So let me know when it's happening or when you want to do it. And I'll make sure I, do the best I can to hop on those lives and support you all in allowing that side of you out. And, remember, you have the tools, and it takes 2 minutes to change your mind and mood. It will. You have everything you need.
Thank you. Thank you. That's perfect. Perfect. This is perfect, Cody. Thank you so much. And thank you all of you for your participation. Next week, Allison will be sharing about the time management. Why do we struggle so much with time management? But anyway, if you can unmute and say thank you to Cody, and we'll say goodbye and have a great week, everyone. Thank you, Cody.
so
Thank
much.
you, Cody.
Thank
See you next
you.
week.
Thank you for the invite,
Bye.
Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.